Hi, thanks for tuning into the Nutritionist Basket today. My name's Lucia Oliverio. As a nutritionist, I believe that we have the power to heal ourselves through food of some of the conditions that affect us with our health today. I'm a nutritionist who believes that we have the ability to heal ourselves through the foods that we eat. I'm a nutritionist who believes that we have the power to heal ourselves with some of the food issues that we face through food. I also believe that eating foods in the most purest form, the way God created them, works in perfect harmony with the bodies that He also created. So today's topic is going to be energy. I make these great little energy bites that I give to my husband that he brings to work all the time. And of course he shares with everybody. And one of the people he works with happens to be a subscriber to my YouTube channel. So Derek, this one is for you. He's been asking for the recipe and how we make it. So this is what we're going to talk about today, are these energy bites that we're going to make. So before we actually make our bites, let's talk about where does energy come from. Well, it comes from the foods we eat, and there's three main categories. There's carbohydrates, there's proteins, and there are fats. Mostly we want to focus on carbohydrates when we eat our foods because that's where most of our energy comes from. And our diet should consist anywhere from 45 to 65% of carbohydrates. And incorporating healthy snacks throughout the day, 2-3 times a day, is actually beneficial for weight control, for curbing our appetites, for improving our mood so we don't get that hangry effect going on. That's something that my daughter's always facing. And so I know when she is, I know she's hungry, so I just got to give her something to eat, and that'll also help her boost her energy. So healthy snacks are more like a slow burning fuel that kind of keeps our body going throughout the day, which is why it's really important that we eat several snacks throughout the day. We kind of mid-morning, mid-afternoon, and maybe just before late night if we really need to. But we want to be careful we don't want to consume too many calories. So many of us, typically, we reach for carbohydrates for snacks, like bagels or a cake or cookies. And yes, they do kind of help us and they boost us right away with our mood. However, it's also a quick, sharp low that we also get. So we want to stay away from those quick, simple carbohydrate foods. We want more complex ones. So let's talk about the type of carbohydrate foods that would be really good and beneficial to improving our energy. All right, so some of the good carb choices are fruits, whole grains, vegetables. A lot of these have been known to help lift our moods. They help us fight fatigue, and they don't give us that roller coaster effect. And also, if we can have some foods that have some omega-3s in them, those are really good to include in our omega-3 fatty fat. If we also incorporate some omega-3 fatty acids, it's also good for the snacks that we eat, because the omega-3s have been shown to help with high blood pressure, heart disease, depression, anxiety. A great snack, and I have this all the time, is I'll just grab a handful of nuts. I always keep nuts out on the counter. Nuts and an apple, perfect. And you've got your carbohydrate and you've got your nut, that's your protein and your fat. So it's really well balanced, and we really want to focus on well balanced snacks. So now, let's get started on our energy bites. Okay, so here are our ingredients that we're going to be using for our energy snack bites. We're starting out with 1.5 cups of almond butter. We're throwing in 1/4 cup of raisins, and they could be the golden raisins or the dark raisins. It doesn't matter which one you would like. Okay, and then we've got 1/2 cup of chopped dried apricots. And some of you might be a little surprised to see these apricots so dark in their color. And these are actually the kind of apricots that you want. You want the organic apricots that have been naturally dried. Typically, we're used to seeing orange, really bright orange apricots. That just means that they've actually been processed with sulfur and chemicals to keep that color. And so we want it to be as natural as possible. So if you can do the organic, that would be great. So this is normal that it becomes dark like this. These are good. And then we want to add 1/2 cup of chopped almonds. And these are really good fibrous foods for our body, and the omega-3s in the walnuts are really good. And we also have 1/2 cup of pumpkin seeds. And pumpkin seeds and walnuts are actually an antioxidant, which is really good. And they're also high in zinc and magnesium, which is really important for our body, especially magnesium with potassium. It helps our heart. And we've got 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. We have the zest of 1 orange. And then I also have the orange juice of an orange. And we have 3 tablespoons of honey. And I get my honey naturally grown locally, so it's got all those good components in there. And then we also want some organic vanilla. And I'm just going to put in about, a teaspoon of vanilla. And at this point, we're just going to go ahead and stir all our ingredients until they're all incorporated.
It's our mission to find nutrition.
Okay, and that is the last energy snack bite that we have. And so we'll just put them on a plate here, and we'll just let it sit for a few minutes just so that all the ingredients can kind of meld together, and they'll be great for a snack for later on. I hope you learned something today that you can incorporate in your lifestyle for healthier living, and I also hope that you understood the importance of energy foods and how to incorporate them into your daily diet. If you have any comments below, if you make these, you have any suggestions, or there's some other videos you'd like to see in the future, I'd love it if you hit the subscribe button so that you can get all the latest videos that I've made, and I can hear some of your comments, because I do love feedback. Anyway, thanks again for tuning in to the Nutritionist Basket, and we'll see you next week. God bless.